M walks through town, again passing through the main street, avoiding Kingsville as she immediately gets off of the train. There are the buildings with the fake facades on the front to give an air of permanence that was prevalent in old western towns to make the cities feel less like they popped up overnight. They have the porches to keep your shoes less dirty with the dust and muck and dirt. Balconies as you quickly hurry to the other side of town and begin walking down the path and up the side of this giant mountain that looms over the horizon.
So am I, like, outside of town?
Yes, you walk through town to the edge of it. The way town is there's, like, a main hub that is what the locals now call Desperation. And then a couple miles away is where the mining camp is, and that's up the side of the mountain a little bit where the mining operations are happening. And that's a small little mining town. It is not incorporated enough to be its own town at this point, and all of the establishments such as a saloon, the government, the sheriff's office are all down in Desperation proper. You're in the burbs is where you're headed. Around you, there's a lot of scrubland. There's small bushes. The ground is a brownish red, not the bright yellow that is often associated with deserts, but more of a rusty color. And as you go up higher, you can see up on the mountain a large forest, but it is far enough away that it does not provide shade of any sort for you as you start this long hike down the path. It is not a impossible walk. You are in a day and age where walking is what everyone did, unless you were wealthy and had a horse, or took a train somewhere very far away. So you're not tired because of the physical exertion, but the heat is hot as it beats down on you, and you walk shadeless for multiple miles before you come to a small little building. It is squat, made of wood. It looks hastily built, but in a way that shows of quality, not ramshackle. The boards are in parallel lines. They are pristine. There is a coat of paint on it, and there's a nice sign hanging out into what would be a street saying Foreman's Office. Further down the road a little bit, you can see a 3-story building that also looks hastily put together. It looks a little bit less nice than this office that you're seeing. You presume that to be the sleeping quarters for the miners. There's an amount of people ambling about, but none of them seem to be really giving you the time of day. They are covered in dirt and soot and grime. Many of them are carrying tools of the job, such as pickaxes and shovels. All of them are in overalls.
Okay. M is gonna go into the foreman's office.
You walk into this building and immediately see a hurried young woman who looks to be about in her mid-20s. She has short, wavy blonde hair with green eyes. She has about average height. She does not have the build of a miner, like a very regular build. She doesn't look like she does a lot of heavy labor, like day in and day out. Her face is forgettable. There isn't any, like, distinguishing features, like, oh, this is, like, a mole in her eyebrow or anything. It's just, like, she's very generic person B. Hey, some people have a generic face look. I'm sorry. As you walk in, I told you if Hooper has a problem, he can come to him. Oh, hello. I don't know you.
How do you do? Call me M.
Nice to meet you, M. I'm Sarah. Are you with the Desperation Town government?
No.
She's, like, shuffling something behind her, like, no?
Decidedly not.
That is a rule. Are you a cop? Are you a sheriff? You have to tell me if I ask.
Again, decidedly no.
Okay, she's still scooting like a stack of papers behind her. Anyway, what can I help you with?
Well, I think I might be able to help you with something, given your questions.
Can you swing a pickaxe?
No,
Can you use a shovel?
No.
Cool. The door is behind you. Thanks for stopping by. Nice meeting you.
So Em, like, comes up to the desk where, like, she's been shuffling off papers and, like, doesn't look at them, but just kind of, like, puts her hand on them and says, I was going to say, given your questions, I think I might be able to help you from this side of the desk. And she kind of, like, nods her head toward, like, Sarah's side. I have a way with numbers. I know they can be slippery things, and I have a knack for spearing them and putting them where they're meant to be.
Make me a roll.
Persuade an NPC?
That is a persuade an NPC. For sure.
Too bad my heart stat sucks.
Hey, it makes it more fun.
Something like that. Ooh, that's bad. I don't think any stat would have helped me. That is a 3.
I think you misunderstand me. This is called a desk. Behind you is called the door. We are currently only hiring miners, and only miners. So if you want, you can grab a shovel, grab a pair of overalls down the street, and start helping mine, or you can kindly leave my office. And if something comes up, by some miracle, if there's an opening, I will come and let you know.
Can I skim the surface? And which is a move I have where you touch someone and attempt to read their surface thoughts.
You're going to have to make a...
I mean, I have to roll, so that's what I want to do. I want to skim the surface.
Well, I'm trying to think of how you could touch her.
Our hands are both on the desk.
Okay. You can try this.
That's a 12.
Okay. Ask 3 questions.
Who or what are you protecting?
Her job. Very much her job.
So it sounds like she's maybe an accountant.
You get a flash of insight as you drop into a world that is less monochrome than it should be in your estimation. You are used to a fully monochrome world. And
in my visions, yeah.
In your visions. And it is a world that looks like all the saturation has been bled out, but it's not monochrome. So everything's like on a dim, almost gray setting, but you're like, that's red, that's blue.
Yes, I understand, yeah.
Like, you can pick out what color everything is, where before you'd be like, everything's gray, black and white.
Yeah, okay.
As you ask, or what 3 questions are you asking? Why don't you ask?
Who or what are you protecting? What are you thinking about right now? And what secrets are you currently keeping?
Okay. So as you get this vision, did we decide that you are observing, or are you the person?
I see it as the person.
So you see it as them? Okay. I just wanted to remember. Thank you. You sit there and look down, and you are in the behind the eyes of Sarah. You get the feeling that she is the secretary for pretty much everything at a low level. She is the person who does the numbers. She is the person who handles requests. She is the person who does cover-ups. She is the person, the entry point for anyone new to the organization. Her being terse with you is her way of protecting her job. You are someone who is asking questions and not necessarily threatening her, but pushing on things that are vulnerabilities of the organization, saying, you might not be doing this right, which could get her fired, or get her in trouble with people higher up, which in some ways is worse for her. As you start sifting through her thoughts, getting to the present, as things are going through her, playing through her day, you see multiple reports coming up of a cave-in. And that it happened, and every order from up top has been, leave them. It does not matter. We can replace them. More people will be coming to town soon. Just do not let anyone know about this.
Oh, okay.
And as you play through this, see this information, you get to the point at current day where you walk in, and the only thought in her head is, how do I get this woman to leave?
Yeah, because she could be a reporter, she could be,
Right. Initially, it is like, oh, look, someone who, like, I'll be friendly, it'll be fine. If she wants and then she says she wants a job, cool. We always need someone to pick up a shovel. Like, we need people right now, actually.
Yeah.
And then you're like, hey, I want to, like, look in your books. And she's like, get out now.
Yeah, okay.
And as you feel the brush of your own hand touching her skin, like a rubber band snapping, you come back to yourself, with no time having passed. She pulls her hand back. Again, the door is over there. If you will please leave.
Certainly. If
we have any job, I'll be happy to let you know.
See that you do. If you need something.
Do you have a place you're staying?
Do you have suggestions?
Everyone I know sleeps down the road and works in the mine.
Got it. Well, if you decide you want someone else doing a little bit of the books, you can find me in town. And she heads out.
Em steps out, sweat beading on her forehead as she immediately walks back out into the sun for a long walk back.
Well, she has another thing she's going to do here, too.
Okay, so she's not heading for a long walk back.
So there's, like, people walking by, right?
Yes, there are miners of many build statures walking around.
And there were miners in town, right? There were some people that were
Yes, there were some people that looked...
like, in desperation.
Yes. At the point when you walk through town, you did not mark them as such, but now having seen what is probably the uniform or how what everyone looks like, you're like, oh, I saw some people who were wearing these overalls who had more a smudginess to them.
Okay. Yeah, so she's gonna see somebody walking by and just kind of say, like, oh, make sure you take your knife today.
My knife? Why do I need my knife?
I just have a feeling you're gonna need it.
All right, little miss, I'll take my knife.
This is maybe, I know we haven't met really or anything, but I sometimes have intuitions about things. I know this isn't the safest line of work. And if there's anything you're wanting more details on, I might be able to help with that.
Are you one of them people who's good at cards? Should I go gambling today?
Not today, maybe tomorrow.
Are you just like BSing all of this?
Oh, yeah.
Give me a roll.
Take it.
Like, if you're going to start BSing people to try to make...
It's called roleplay, man.
It is, and you're... Sorry. It is, and you are trying to get a benefit.
You just keep talking, you never have to roll.
Who do I look like, Cody?
Mislead, distract, or trick?
It's very much that, yeah.
What is this rolling with mind? That's a 9.
Pick 2. Create an opportunity, expose a weakness or flaw, confuse them for some time, avoid further entanglement.
Create an opportunity, which would be an insurance business with...
yeah, so this is
minors.
planting the seeds for people to trust you as someone who can do insurance. You are the worst type of human. I want to throw that out there. But you have that opportunity. You are planting this seed.
Right. And then expose a weakness or flaw.
I'm going to say that the gentleman you approached is actually someone who's very superstitious and does listen to what you say. And
he's going to tell other people.
Yeah, he's going to like not go gambling today. And I think his friend who like he usually gambles with is going to lose money. Mm-hmm. So that will be what you got out of it. Like, yeah. Would he have lost money? That's not how gambling works.
Yeah.
But his friend who he goes gambling with lost like $10, which is a lot of money. And he's like, see, that could have been me, but I listened.
Yeah. Perfect.
Is there anything else you'd like to do?
Nope. That's pretty good.
Alrighty. So you trudge back to town. Is there someplace in town that you are staying, Em?
I do not have a place to stay as of yet.
There is a saloon tavern inn thing.
Okay. I think she needs to pick up some things from the general store anyway, so I think she'll go there and then kind of try to get an idea of where she could stay from there. If like the saloon tavern is the best place, if there's like not a bed and breakfast, but like what would you call an apartment? That sounds too fancy. It would just be like a teeny tiny room in somebody's attic. You know what I mean?
A hovel?
No, is it like, where would you rent a room from? What's that called? That's got a name, right?
Boarding house?
Boarding house, yes. Yeah, so basically, like, she'll go to the general store with an idea of like, well, I can see if like the saloon has rooms and that's the best place to stay. If there's somebody else who has rooms to let, that sort of thing.
As you push through these doors to enter the general store, it is filled with... Hang on a second, I have to look up something.
Is it the year something was invented?
Yes. Huh, okay. Cool. This is a fun little detail that I just remembered. So as you walk in, it is not a store as you think. You come in and there is about 5 feet, and then there is a long counter and a gentleman standing behind it. He has long, straight brown hair that is well groomed. He's a little bit short, and he has a very heavily waxed handlebar mustache. He is currently talking with a demon who you all know as Saza.
Would that make sense? Because timing wise?
How so?
So M just went to talk to somebody and then walked around the streets and then went to the general store.
Oh, that. You and Kingsdale would have met when M was still walking up the mountain.
I had to walk like a couple miles there and then back.
Okay, that's what I wasn't sure about. Okay.
No, yeah, that is a fair question. It didn't bother me. M's been gone for several hours at this point.
Okay.
And I'm assuming she might have hustled a few more people.
Got it.
So this is an old-timey grocery or general store where you'd come in saying what supplies you need, and they would get them from back for you. So the owner is sitting there just chatting up a storm with Saza as M walks in, somewhat neglecting getting stuff as his assistants are trying to find stuff. And that's what I'm saying, Saza. I mean, I don't think the marriage will last. But that's not for me to say, you know? They just seem to partake of the drink a little bit too much.
Well, and from what I've seen, I don't think it's just the drink, but I won't tell if you don't.
Oh, I promise not to. He has the look in the eye that the next person that walks through the door is going to hear this.
Yeah, Saza definitely gave him like a big wink with that. I had something else to say and totally I was going to say, does he owe me a debt now that I gave him some tidbits?
Good gossip.
I'm teasing, but...
No, I was thinking about it. I'm like, would you say that he gave you any tidbits that were useful to you?
No.
Okay, then I will say he has one debt on you, but typically don't expect it every time you walk into the store.
No. I was mostly teasing with that. I kind of assume if somebody's drinking, they're already like at my place.
Yeah.
And I just happened to see that they were interested in something else.
You do know this man as Wesley Conway. He owns the tab or the general store, and you've met with him multiple times. Someone pokes their head out from behind. What's something that more specialty item that Saza would be asking for?
Probably some sort of liquor, right?
Well, I was going to say, I think there's probably a very specific type of liquor or mixer from like a more of like from like a city where demons are.
Okay.
For whatever reason, whether it's made from like magic or there's just, I don't know, you have to heat it to demonic levels of heat, like whatever it is.
I love that.
That's a very specialized thing that she can only get from out east.
I think what it is, and you can say if you don't like this, it's brimstone salt.
Ooh.
Love it. That's exactly what it is.
So someone pokes their head out. Mr. Conway, I can't seem to find the brimstone salt. You said it was supposed to be back here. You know how these kids are. I mean, you have your own too. You gotta look after every time.
Oh, interns.
Right. Lilurin and Lilura have been nothing but great, but you understand. Sometimes the boss has gotta do the job. I'll be right back.
Take your time.
And he heads back to the back.
So Em is kind of like scribbling down what things she'd be getting. It would be like some basic rations and stuff.
I will say, sorry.
Go ahead.
As he leaves, he looks up and sees you for the first time. I'll be with you in just 1 second, ma'am. I have to help filling Lady Saza's order, and then I will be right back with you. And then he goes into the back.
When he addresses M, Saza glances back, and then she does a double take and eyes her up and down. Oh, are you also from the latest train?
I am. How do you do? I'm Em.
Nice to meet you. I'm Saza. I've just starting to see more of you off the train, and it's always interesting to see who's been brought in.
Who else did you see?
Oh, a number of people have stopped by my tavern so far.
Oh, you own a tavern? Do you have rooms to let? Or a recommendation if you don't?
My establishment is still not quite completed yet, so if you're interested in a room, I have space, but sadly it's not quite put together yet.
That's fine. If you have a recommendation of somewhere else to go, I'm all ears.
I mean, you can always go to the less interesting tavern down the street, but I find they don't quite fulfill everyone's needs.
Noted. Have you been established here for a while?
How long did you say it's been? 2 months? Or weeks? Or
I think it's been a month, about.
Okay.
I think we said about a month, because you're at the point where you're pretty put together, but not fully there.
Yeah, I just can't remember. Oh, we got settled here about a month ago, and it's growing, but obviously any new business is going to take a few trials and errors to get on its feet. What brought you all the way out here to Desperation?
Just leaving a bad situation. It's time for a fresh start.
I find that happens to a lot of people out here. Something about cutting the strings of back home really makes a difference.
That's kind of what I'm hoping for. Sometimes you need to be out from someone else's roof to really get your own thing going.
Okay, yeah, you are, speaking a language that many of us know out here. So if you're looking for a place to stay, do you have work that you came out here to do, or are you just sightseeing?
I'm very good with numbers. That didn't help me get a job with the mining company, which I was hoping to do. But if you know of anybody hiring in that capacity, I'm the person for the job.
Saza, looks off to the side, clicks her tongue, and thinks for a second. I think I might be going soft out here, but for the life of me, I cannot figure out these damn numbers. And I've already brought on one new person. But if you're willing to trade, maybe a room, or we could work out some sort of deal monetarily plus a room, I might be interested in bringing you on, because at the moment and she kind of looks at, I think she's got a little pouch where she's got her whatever money we have here. I don't think I'm doing money the way I should be.
I can make sure they all go in the right places. and make sure that you come out on top. I do have a question, though.
Okay.
What kind of contract are we talking here?
I would say the ones that I'm used to doing are ones of a sort of, I guess humans would call it a magical sort. And she kind of like grins and like flashes her pointed teeth. But I understand that that's not going to be the most attractive to a mortal. So, I'd be willing to waive the magical part, the binding part of a contract for a signed paper. I think that's what you do.
Yes, I can do that. And she kind of like rustles around for more paper here. Like, I assume they have some so you can like write your orders on. She's like, this will do perfectly. And she'll write out like room and then like some stipend of money and slide it over to Saza to see if she accepts it or tweaks it.
I think Saza reads it, gets to the money part, opens her like purse and looks back at the money part.
That would be a weekly stipend.
Oh, I think, you know what? Okay. Can we go back after I get my brimstone salt to the tavern and I'll give you the numbers I've written down so far and we can go from there.
Excellent. I'll be there straight away after this. Emma's like trying not to be too eager, but this is like working out really well.
DM question. Are you trying to pull a fast one on Saza in any capacity? The answer can be yes.
Sort of. I think the number that she put down was a little high, and she was kind of in the expectation that Saza might lower it. So I don't know if that's pulling a fast one.
Okay.
She did not pick something ridiculous, but, you know.
It would be on the high end of when you're asking for a salary.
Yes. When they ask you for a salary range, you're putting the high side.
Well, I'm completely fine when they're like, this job is $20 to $25, and M just wrote 25.
Yes, that's exactly, yeah.
I'm completely cool with that. I was just curious, because I'm like, if you want, you can try to pull a fast one that Saza will not notice. It will be a roll. And I want to, this system encourages you guys rolling against each other at times. That is allowed.
Yeah.
So, if you guys want to do a little bit more PC.
I don't know if it's worth doing a roll because money just isn't a thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It is getting a better, deal for where you're staying,
Yeah, I think the main thing mechanically here is that I'm incurring some debts and I now have a place to stay and a job.
Yay. Potentially, if the money makes sense.
M will make it make sense.
All right, as you guys look at this, or come to the agreement that M will meet Saza at... You're going to have to remind me of the name, Mandy. I'm so sorry.
Quiversand Tavern?
The Quiversand Tavern, which I need to write down somewhere so it sticks in my brain. As M agrees to meet you at the Quiversand Tavern after she does this, Wesley comes back out. Lady Saza, I have found your brimstone salt, as well as all of the other items that you have requested. It will be, and he gives you a number, which is most of what's in your purse.
Yeah, I think Saza, again, opens her purse, clicks her tongue. I can give you 80% of it now.
Well, Miss Saza, I do like you, but 80%? I'll tell you what. We're friends. How about on my way home from work today, I just stop in and get a nice drink with this brimstone salt, and we'll call it even.
I was literally about to suggest that.
It's been wonderful seeing you again. Would you like me to put anything on order for next week?
I think she pulls out a small list. Yeah, a small list of things that pretty normal. And I would say, like...
That's completely... That's enough, like...
Yeah, I was gonna say maybe, like, 1 or 2...
exotic things.
Well, like, decorative, like...
Okay.
I don't want to say... I don't know. Maybe fucking curtains or something. Like, I don't...
Some candelabras, like, of a certain style.
Yeah, not just, like... Yeah, all of this right now would be stuff for the place, not necessarily to fix up anything else. It's to make, like, the current place better.
Scented candles.
I can get all of these. I will see you next week, same time.
It's been a pleasure.
The same to you. Now, may I help you, ma'am? My name is Wesley Conway. I run the general store here. Is there anything that I can get you?
Just a few things. And she, like, passes over her little order of stuff. And, I guess she'll say, and if anyone asks for M, tell them I'm at Saza's.
Oh, I'll be happy to. What are you going to be doing for Lady Saza?
I think M is maybe not... I don't know that M knows that it's a brothel yet, actually.
He wasn't implying that. I was implying that he's just a gossip and wants to get every ounce.
No, I was just imagining the dramatic irony here. If he's like, oh, you're at Saza's. And she's like, yeah, why?
It is also funny saying, like, ask for M at Lady Saza.
Right, exactly.
That's 1,000% going to be ongoing for 5 arcs.
Has Saza left yet?
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. She grandly swept out of the store.
Swept out, yes. I'll just be doing the books there.
All right. I think you could aim higher if you wanted. You seem like a pretty lass, but, you know.
And M kind of gives him a weird look.
So what brings you to town? We here in Desperation love to see new faces. As we say, misery loves company.
Desperation loves company.
Misery loves company. Desperation loves new faces.
Just seemed like the place for a fresh start.
I mean, it's worked pretty well for me. But also, do not become a general store. I will be very upset with you, Miss Adam.
I can tell you honestly, I don't plan on it.
It's great to hear. Is there anything I can point you to? Anyone you need to hear about? We have a variety of factions and guilds in the town that suit your every need. Obviously, I run the general store, which is your one-stop shop for all of your basic items. But sometimes, occasionally, it bemoans me that I cannot provide every service that you will need.
Do you do apothecary sorts of things?
I unfortunately do not. That is a specialized skill. I can get in simple tonics and tinctures, stuff that's more on the heavily produced side. However, for specialty custom orders, you do need to go see Doc down the street. He runs enchanted elixirs, herbal healing, starlight solutions, aether alchemicals, radiant roots, flourishing flowers, apothecary, and services.
All right.
Make sure to call it that whole name. He gets very particular if you abbreviate it. He is paying me a stipend to say it all the way, so I am not going to argue with him.
All right, one more time.
Enchanted elixirs, herbal healing, starlight solutions, aether alchemicals, radiant roots, and flourishing flowers, apothecary, and services.
Yeah, I just wrote apothecary owner in the notes, so...
I was like, had my fingers on the keyboard. I was like ready to type it out. Did not get there.
Anything else I can help you find? Careful, Doc is a little crotchety at times. He has his own set of problems, as we all do, and I should be sharing them. But Russell is a gem. Hopefully he'll be the one manning the desk when you enter, and he'll get you situated with anything you need. Is there anything specific? Maybe I have it in back? Like something that you're looking for? Like anything at all?
How much morphine does he have? Does he just have laudanum? Does he have cocaine, maybe? Just on the shelf, as you did back then?
I was looking more for a sleeping tincture. I don't know if that's common enough for you to have.
Well, I can check in back. Anything else that you'd like to add to this order, or anything else I can help you out with? We aim to serve.
That's all for now.
Well, I will be back in a minute. So you sit there for a few minutes. He goes in back, rustles through several shelves, and comes back with everything you asked for. He does not have a sleeping tincture. Miss M, I'm horribly appalled that I did sell my last sleeping tincture yesterday, and we are out of stock of it currently. If you want, I can put an order for it in. I get orders with every train shipment that comes in. Unfortunately, our sleeping tincture just went out of stock. It was not a big item, so I didn't think to order more. It's coming in on the next shipment, and I can put you down for one of those. Or if you really need it, you can head over and see Doc today.
When did you say the next shipment would be in? In a week?
In probably about a week, but like if you have those nightmares, he like pauses, sees if you feel anything in. I can understand why you'd need it sooner.
I'll put in an order.
All
a
right.
week is fine.
Sounds good.
She's convincing herself.
So laudanum. Is there anything else you'd like to get from Wesley before you head out?
Nope.
All right. We flip to the Quiverstand Tavern with its dimming enchantment on the front side. Saza is once again behind the bar, pouring a drink with her new brimstone salt for a patron. Laying on the counter next to this patron is Lilurin. Saza, no one's come in all day.
Well, then why don't you go out and lure some people into the tavern?
Because I don't want the whole town here at once. And once I'm out on the town, everyone's going to be here.
Well, then you won't be bored.
That is a very fair point. I'm going to go do that. As he sits up to roll off the table, M walks in. In a speed that is hard for the human eye to follow, he is standing next to M. Hello, hot stuff. Are you looking for a good time?
I'm here to see Saza.
Oh, but I'm so much more fun. She, while is lovely in her own right, has decided that she is no longer providing services.
Lilurin, she's not here for that reason. Come on back.
But why do you keep inviting people in who are not here to sleep with me? That man only wants to sleep with Lilura. He points to the person that you're pouring a drink for. I couldn't care less. Kingsdale only deals cards, and he's bad at it. He hasn't realized Lilura has 14 aces up her sleeve, and that's how she always wins.
Emma's just kind of looking around like, what have I gotten myself into? I feel like I should have had a vision about this. I feel let down by my visions.
I'm going to my room. And he like huffs away a little bit. And then he looks back at the guy sitting at the counter. Is this doing it for you? No? Fine. I'm going to my room. And you see him stomp off. And then you hear like a door that tries to slam, but it's not like perfectly on its hinges. So it kind of like hits weird and like rattles. It's like, oh, the doors in here don't even slam right.
Saza like takes a deep breath and like blows out slowly, but I think when she does that, you can kind of see like a little bit of, it almost seems like there's smoke coming out of her ears. And she turns from pouring the drink to M. Sorry about Lilurin, he is bored. If you want to just come over here, I can show you what I have right now. And she like, because I think right now she hasn't set up like a real like office situation for herself. So she just has like literally handwritten like scraps of paper where she's just kept notes on like, just don't laugh at me.
It is how I function in my life.
Saza, her life is falling apart. She hasn't set up anything. Writes notes on receipts. Cody, can you write notes in other places?
But yeah, she like just has a like handful because it's only been a month. So she's got like a handful of a bunch of different scraps of paper where she's clearly like marked kind of there's no like tallying up the numbers. There's just like, this is what this cost. Lalura and Laluran aren't specifically being like paid right now, but they have like, you know, taking care of them needs like food.
Yeah.
And then there's like, I think, because for Kingsdale, we didn't specifically say you're getting a salary, right?
No, he's not getting money.
Yeah, he's not getting money.
He's getting a take of the card game.
So I think next to Kingsdale, she just has like there's like whatever correspondence we had prior. There's like at the bottom of like a letter from you, it's like coming on, will rent room ? And she just kind of like goes over to the other side of the bar from where the patron is, puts all these pieces of paper in like down on the bar. This is what I have right now, and honestly, if it looks like I'm not going to be able to bring you on, let me know sooner rather than later, please.
It'll take me a bit to go through this, but I'll do that right now and let you know.
And at the very least, I can offer you a place, a room of some sort, in exchange for letting me know where I sit with all this.
Is Kingsdale around during this, or is he like not? It's fine if the answer is no. I'm just curious.
I think he was out in the main room, and they've like stepped into like a back office room, essentially.
No, we're not in the back office. We're just literally, we don't have an office right now. We're literally just on the other side of the bar.
Oh, okay. So yeah, see, he's around.
Just away from the patron.
Yeah.
Yes, Kingsdale, if you want Kingsdale to be around, Kingsdale's around. If you were like, oh, he's sleeping off a hangover, he can be sleeping off a hangover.
No, definitely not. No, so Kingsdale sees you guys like talking business and also sees M, and he walks up and goes, am I to interpret or otherwise understand from the manner in which the two of you were conversing mere moments ago that on a list of a few things that have happened, they might include you have been employed by Saza as I have been as well?
Saza like does that thing where she points from one of you to the other person a couple times. You two know each other?
We met aboard the train while she was doing humanitarian deeds to my wallet. So yes,
What does that mean?
It's how she described what she was doing.
Returning it.
Oh, okay.
Fancy meeting you, Huckster.
Kingsdale Aloysius Huckabee, although at the moment my moniker has been, adapted or obfuscated, perhaps stored safely for the time. An irony given the conversation we had on board the train. For now, I simply go by Mr. Franklin.
So it did catch up with you.
It has yet to fully land upon my doorstep, but there are those that seek to deliver and have been dissuaded from doing so, utilizing the skills that I possess.
What exactly is trying to keep up with you or catch up to you?
Well, now you employed me as a gambler, a seeker of violence, and a soldier of fortune. Now, those things tend to create an atmosphere of social disdain, and those social disdains seem to have been here waiting for me when I arrived. Now, I do not believe they are in immediate...
Where is this again?
Now, that I see your lovely mouth, I can of course remember that it is... Oh, now, I'm quite sure it's Desperation. Desperation? I was tempted to forget once more to simply hear you say it again.
Em kind of rolls her eyes.
Now, anyways, as to the reason for my interrupting your conversation, other than to just speak to both of you, lovely that you are, I am given to understand there is a question of financial solubility of the institution under which we are both currently gainfully employed.
I don't know exactly what you're asking. We have money right now.
Certainly,
and I aim to keep it that way. So, no worries there.
That is wonderful to hear. I believe both of you are competent in so doing, although I don't mean to imply that maybe sometimes you are not, but I maybe have some observations from my limited time being here and I wish to share.
I think you can almost see the smoke coming out of Sas's ears again.
Now,
please.
I would say you are faced with an issue of unoccupied labor, creating a substantial amount of overhead cost at a business simply at its birth.
Sasa blinks at him.
What I mean to say is you have two lovely creatures.
Employees,
aside from myself and M, working for you in a capacity that they seem to excel at excellently, however infrequently. But, that being said, you also have lovely gambling tables. And now, myself am a person who can deal cards with a certain degree of competence. However, your employees' abilities as the infernal, nefarious, dare I say demonic, or even seductive, might give them
They're
an edge.
They're literally all of those things.
Exactly, and that could just give them the edge that we need in certain games of chance to both entice customers as well as lighten their pockets at our tables, thus allowing me to earn my stipend and allowing M to have far more interesting numbers to keep track of.
I have no qualms with however we get more monetary funds. That part's fine.
Well, might I suggest next time you have one of your employees that is not me and M laying on the bar attempting to woo their way into your bedroom or mine, as we cannot pay them, allow them to go out and not just be on the streets, but invite some friends to a friendly game of cards dealt by yours truly, thus inviting in business, increasing the prestige of this place, and creating heavier wallets on our belts all at the same time.
Feel like that is literally what I just told Lelurin to do, but at some point you're dealing with demons who just want to do what they want to do.
I've never been employed by or with demons, so it might be my own ignorance speaking.
As many words as that was, I understand that we need more patrons in here. I guess I'll see what I can do. And I think Sasa will, turn around and go to, go back to bother Lelurin.
Where do miners usually go? Do they come here?
Very clear. I want to put this on the podcast. We are talking about coal miners.
Sorry, yes.
I just want to be very clear about what is happening.
Mining company employees.
Thank you. just throwing that one out there. You're asking me. Sorry.
No, I was asking Kingsdale.
Oh, I guess I'm unsure. Is this place pretty quiet right now, Zach? Are we having trouble drumming up business, or is it usually pretty busy and this is just odd?
I think it is. You're not dead like Lil Laura and Lelurin pretend you are, but it is more of a trickle than a stream.
Gotcha.
So, this might be a slower part of the day where there's, no one here, but you have lulls through every shift when you're oh, it's nighttime, I'm dealing cards. There'll be frequent times where you get to take a break because just no one's playing cards with you.
Gotcha.
Also, you're a casino that's being run by one guy dealing a deck of cards. I think that kind of speaks for itself.
Occasionally, yes, but there could always be an increase in business.
I guess you wouldn't know that since this is your first day here, Kingsdale. You don't know if this is normal.
I don't know, man. You let that be asked to me. I'm answering.
M just kind of nods. I was well, that could change. I think we might be a place they want to come in the future.
Given the presence of two seductively demonic creatures there to service their every whim and pleasure, I would assume that business should fall over itself to get in the door. And then if it needs to leave the door, I will help it fall out.
Did you know what you were coming into?
Do you mean did I know that I had inadvertently accepted the employ of a demon?
That, and that it was a brothel?
Oh, I did understand that it was a house of... I believe I even said as much to you in as plain a terms as I could, I believe, on board the train. But again, frequently I've been told that my language is obfuscating, but I did know this was a house of the erotic arts, a place of peddled flesh and worldly delights, and it is in such a capacity that I wish to be employed, for that is a principal aim of my life at the moment.
Right, I remember you saying that there was some sort of reputation issue.
Yes.
I might have told someone that people could ask for me at Saza's, and I am regretting that turn of phrase. So, you know.
Kingsdale looks at you and kind of like slides up to the bar. Might someone ask for you at Saza's?
If you're a miner looking to...
You mean someone who digs coal out of the ground?
What do you mean to call... Zach, hold on. What do you want me to call them?
Mining employee would probably be better.
Maybe just say a coal miner.
A coal miner.
Yeah.
Well, they're not mining coal, though. They're mining the body of the god, right?
You can say coal miner. It's enough. It gets the idea across.
Okay.
Just saying if you're a miner, do you understand?
I can't do that. That's why I'm like trying to figure...
Prospector.
Prospector's fine.
Okay. If you're a prospector, looking for a forecast for the rest of your week.
Kingsdale, like, turns just like his other arm on the bar. Anyways, so what room did you get? Because I have the basement, and I would advise refraining from spending too much time down there, for there are relics and oddities that I wish to store that can be dangerous at times.
She kind of like looks over at Saza. Is like,
Saza's gone.
Well, okay, yeah. She looks in the direction that Saza went and was like, I hadn't gotten that far yet. I was hoping for something upstairs, probably, but now I'm wondering if there is maybe a secluded location.
Well, the good news is, if anyone comes calling for you in a way that you find disreputable, disrespectful, or unconscionable, all you simply must do is whisper Kingsdale in the air, and they shall be escorted off premises, or to an employee that better suits their needs.
Got it.
Can you forecast cards?
What do you want to know?
So let me speak plainly. I wish to gain currency at a rapid rate from those who are unwise as to the means by which I am doing so. Which is to say, when a coal miner comes in, thirsty for whiskey and hungry for a game of chance, I am more than happy to oblige him in a more clear state of mind. Now, if I might also have the ability of a forecast of chances of certain cards to rain down on the table, that might further benefit my ability to collect, hoard, or otherwise disentangle funds from those that seek entertainment with me.
What are you offering for that? Sounds like a lucrative service.
I am going to assume that my winning personality and ability to keep you from having undesirables at your doorstep is not enough.
As you described that as already being your job, no.
Friendship, perhaps, and a small percentage of said take?
What percentage are you thinking?
5.
Em just laughs at him.
15.
Warmer.
Now, I will say that as most of the dangerous work of essentially robbing coal miners lays on my shoulders, I do not believe 50% would be appropriate. However, I do not know how strenuous it is for you to do this work. The highest I could go, while still being able to feed myself and the good lady Begonia, is 20%.
20%? Seeing as I'd be increasing your business, and she like looks around the empty room, like at least 5-fold.
How's about this? I could do 30% only if you agree to have a drink with me the next evening.
Fine.
And with that...
I am sorry to have caused you... Okay, yeah, we get in there.
And with that, we will end this episode. Hey Wanderers, thanks for listening to our campaign Desperation. As always, you can follow us on our socials, and if you like what you hear, leave us a review on your podcast app of choice, and tell a friend about the show. We hope you've enjoyed your time in Desperation. Just because it's the end of the line, doesn't mean you don't have options.